up, guys? What is going on today? I'm having a good morning today. I saw this Arson Rides video today, and what he said just made me want to come out here and talk about it right away. I just had to tell my side of the story, or not side of the story, but more my views on it. I just think, yeah, I knew you were gonna do that. No signal either the second time when you realize the mistake. Oh well, whatever. Can't win them all. Anyways, I saw this Arson Rides video today, this morning, no more than, I don't know, 10-15 minutes ago. He was talking about the end of YouTube. He was saying that some bigger moto vloggers and some other channels like gaming channels and stuff, some of the big guys were talking about there's a bit of the end of YouTube, or there's a problem with, you know, can you make a career out of it and everything else. And it's an interesting question because from what I've seen, YouTube channels come and go. People lose interest over time, so I don't know how viable it is as a career, especially like things like these kind of channels, like the motovlogging channels and stuff, and gaming channels. Will they eventually lose interest? Will the people who watch them move on? It's hard to tell. I mean, some channels on YouTube survive because they've evolved with the viewer audience. They changed what they do. They change it up, you know? You can't remain the same the whole time. I liked what Arson said. I agree with what he said. That there are people who are on YouTube, small channels, that just think that they're gonna be hot shit and, you know, get tons of views as soon as they start up and just pump out whatever shit that they want to put out there. Yeah, that doesn't really work. I mean, I even commented on his video about it and was like, I think there's two different types. Well, I'll try and get this idle properly. There's two different types of channels. Ones that just pump out the video, put no effort in the editing or anything else. And there's the other type that are learning as we go, and we're trying to put out better videos. And I think I'm that. I think I am trying to get better editing techniques or learn stuff as I go when I get the chance to do it. I already have enough trouble with the amount of things that I'm doing in my life to try and get out videos as much as I want. I want to get videos out whenever I could. But, you know, things change, things come up and stuff like that, so it's not always easy. That being said, it's even harder, I think, now when you get, when motovlogging first started out, there was like nobody who was a dedicated motovlogger as like a job or anything. And now what you got is you've got guys who do have it as a job. They do it all the time, and they can put out much higher quality content as a result. So it does make other smaller channels that might have been up to par a couple of years ago look worse than they are. I think, you know, that's a bit of my opinion. I'm not saying I'm one of those channels that, oh, I think I deserve more, or I put in enough effort and I was as good as those guys when they started out. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that I have a feeling that there are accounts out there where, you know, oh, this one deserves more subs and everything else. I think that's true. There's truth to that. There are people out there who deserve more subs and they just don't get the same kind of exposure because they're not a big channel. Like, because there are enough big channels out there now that the market's saturated. The motovlogging community is so saturated now that if you were to break in and become another big motovlogger, you have to be good. You just have to be good from the get-go. You have to really show like the kind of stuff you're made out of. You really have to give it your all and put in so much effort to get there. I just like making these videos for myself in terms of I want to see how far I can take this. How well can I actually do? The other thing too was it was kind of like a self-betterment thing, where I'm trying to like create better communication skills, better public speaking, I guess, stuff like that. And I thought that, you know, I do a lot of talking to myself, so this isn't too different, but now I'm kind of talking to an audience over the internet. It's something to like, you know, transition towards talking to people. I always think that I've had communication problems, and that kind of stems from the kind of, how would I put this? Well, it's pretty simply put, actually. Like, I have mild autism, right? So it makes it fairly difficult. Like, from the time that I was a child, it was really difficult to communicate with people and just kind of tell you how you're feeling, or just in general what's going on with you. And so I've worked really hard on that for years and years, in school, as a kid, just in a lot of different scenarios. And I thought that this was another really cool kind of different way to go about it. And it was also something where maybe people wouldn't notice, you know? But I think I've kind of gotten over the fact of like hiding that away or not really saying much about it. And I just don't really care anymore, because I mean, why not? Tell people who exactly you are and be honest with them. I don't know, I think Arson's video hit home with me in terms of the quality that people put out and what they think is good and everything else. Because I think that stuff that I've put out before is pretty good. Like, I've really put an effort in some of my videos, like the Australia videos, like the first one, I really put an effort into that and stuff like that. But on top of it, I feel like I have put out videos where they're just kind of shit. And, you know, when people say, oh, I think every next video I make is the next best one or something, holy fucking hell. Oh man, that's scary. The lady had no fucking idea. Whoa, that got me going. What was I saying? Oh, fucking hell. Oh yeah, guys, I gotta take a breather on that one. I was going a little too much there. Yeah, I don't know, I just felt motivated this morning based on that video. Like, what Arson said kind of made a lot of sense. Like, there are people out there that, you know, they put out videos and they just think that they're like gonna make it instantly. And that's just not true. A lot of people always talk about, oh, I didn't monetize my channel for a while and all this other stuff. To be honest, when I first started, I just monetized it right away because I just really was curious, you know, how far can I take this sort of thing? Like, can I just go, can I start putting out videos and go all the way? Can I just, like, I really thought at the beginning, oh, you know, I'll really make something of this right off the bat. And I have to say, like, maybe it was a bit naive. I was pretty naive in assuming that, oh, I'm God's gift or something, and I'll put out these great fucking videos and people will think, oh, look at that guy, he's so cool, he has such a cool logo, I'll subscribe to him or some shit. And to be honest, it's just like not like that at all. It's kind of sad looking back on how I thought of it that way. It's totally transitioned into this thing of, I just really love riding, and I really love kind of putting out videos that somebody will comment or tell me about. It's also funny because I get so many more comments from people I know, like in real life, on the videos, and they just tell me shit like, oh, you know, I thought that was really cool, and this is my favorite video. And it's just really interesting to hear that kind of stuff, because sometimes people say that their favorite video was one thing or another, and I would be like, really, you like that one? I just thought that one was shit, or like that one was just kind of average or something else. It's just kind of funny to see that. I also have to say, in comment to, you know, when people get bigger channels and all that other shit, I do think there is this kind of funny way that exposure works on channels, where if somebody wants to put out good videos or whatever else, they can put out quite good videos, and they only really start to get attention after something major happens, like, oh, this guy got in an accident, or this guy had road rage against me, or something else, you know? I guess it's just the way the internet is. You get these kinds of videos that just kind of expose a channel where some douchebag in a truck tries to run you over, or gets out and yells at you, or something else. Yeah, you get somebody like me who's got 200 subscribers, right? And I get into some accident, some other jackass tries to run me off the road, something that people love, like some world star level stuff, right, happens to me, or I get it on video or whatever else. My channel gets subscribers. Like, I'm gonna get 200 more, 1,000 more, depending on the severity, it goes up. Like, I'm sure if you did the math on that stuff, you'd see it. So I think it is kind of skewed when you talk about the quality of channels and their content and like how big they're gonna get. Sometimes it gets skewed. Somebody gets a 2-year bump or a 6-month bump in what their subscribers would be by getting into one of these altercations. So it's just kind of interesting. You think about the kind of way these accounts work. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's all over the place, right? You can never tell what's going to become of one person's account versus another, especially when somebody gets into a major accident and suddenly they get, you know, several thousand subscribers. I mean, it's not to trash talk those accounts. Like, it's not their fault, or that people want to see that stuff and they go straight up more, or it's not their. I'm sure that no one rightfully intends to, you know, get into an accident so that they can gain that many subscribers. That would just be kind of psychotic. You'd be a little nuts off the wall if you really wanted that. But I mean, who knows? Nowadays, you could never put it past the internet. Somebody on the internet might be doing it. Back to the big point of Arson's video and some of the other guys' videos. Is there a real end of YouTube? Is this a career for those? Is there a career for those guys in even 3 years, 6 years, 10 years? Because when you talk about a real job or career, you talk about something you can work in for 10, 20 years, right? So it's not like you're gonna make enough money to retire on YouTube after so many years of making videos. I don't know if it's viable. I think there's some serious flaws in the YouTube system to begin with the way monetization works and the kind of way that the copyright system works and all the other stuff. I mean, that's a whole story on its own. But I think there's another deeper problem too, that channels have to evolve with the audience. If your audience is 15 years old, mainly 15 years old to 18 or something, eventually they're going to grow up and they're going to become either disinterested in it entirely or want to see something new and different. So if you consider that you got to change your channel up and all that other stuff, then maybe you'll be okay, but it's pretty hard to do when you're limited to something like moto vlogging. You can only play so many pranks, or you can only do so many different little gags or whatever else on a motorcycle. Like, you're still riding around. That's the main premise. It's the same idea with when you watched H3H3 and how that guy's blown up. That guy is blown up because he makes fun of a category that people were getting sick and tired of. Prank videos on YouTube were becoming so outlandish and ridiculous because they had to stay relevant. And when you talk about something like that one guy's video that he was like pretending to kill his friend or something like that, and it's a prank. Like, that's pretty fucking crazy, right? So you get these ridiculous pranks, and then you've got this guy who's talking so much sense, saying, look at how crazy this whole genre of channels are, the prank videos and everything else. Like, it's just insane. And he blew up because he was something new and different, and he was just making fun of all this shit, like and pointing out all the ridiculous little intricacies of why these channels are so retarded. And for that, he became big, right? And rightfully so. Like, the guy makes good videos and he's hilarious. So when you put that all together, of course he's going to do well. So I guess what I'm getting back to is, if you want to talk about the viability and everything else about channels, is this the end of YouTube? I don't think so, in one sense. You got to evolve if you want to stay on it. It's like TV shows. A TV show can only run for so many seasons. Shows get canceled. That's just the way it works. YouTube is a funny place. Thank you guys for watching. As always, do what you want to do. I'm going to still be putting out videos whether you like it or not. Hey-o!